Hello people, today I have with us the Pokemon model kit Metagross, and this is the little Pokepla line that they have out. This isn't one of the quick Pokemon or model kit quick kits that they have out there. This is one of their full-fledged, meaning that unlike the quick kits, it does actually have some articulation to it. Not very much, of course, but still a lot more than, say, the Pikachu or the Eevees that you've seen, or the next one that I'll be reviewing, which is the Bulbasaur. Regardless, this is one easy kit to build. Doesn't take very much time. It only has 2 stickers, unlike some of the other stuff that you've seen in the Pokemon line, which is actually a great thing. But it definitely has a good look to it. This one doesn't require tools, paint, or glue, so it's a very simple kit to put together. And gives you a really good result straight away right out of the box. I, of course, use my tools. I use my nippers, my hobby knife, and my sanding sticks. So I got a little bit better finish than you might if you use just the brute force hand technique. But as you can still see, there are some nub marks here that I didn't clean up all the way. But as far as model kits go, this one's a pretty nice one. I really like that he's articulated. You know, he has this sort of ball joint looking set here, which is just like what they would use as a polycap normally, but that's a normal piece. And you can rotate the arm inside there, but that goes up and down, and you can rotate the arm in one of either 2 positions on that. Now they show, if you put it in this one, that you should take this part off. And I'm not entirely sure why, because you don't need to, but they showed this tucked up in here. It makes it look nice and tight. I get that. But you could still articulate it out and mount that in there just fine. You know, it doesn't look too out of place. Still, you know, you do what the instructions tell you. Sometimes I will show you what it looks like with those all tucked in. But you can get some pretty neat poses with this little guy. You can have him sort of standing his ground with his legs outward like so, or a more aggressive pose with his 2 sharp horns showing underneath. Any way you'd like to pose him, it's reasonable enough to do it with this one. I do kind of wish that these arms were a ball joint, that you can move them up and down, or forward and back as well as up and down. But it's not terrible. You can rotate them, and that gives you sort of a, you know, it gives you sort of what you need. You know, you can have them flying, things like that. This one does come with a stand, and the stand just sits right here in the middle. It's not much of a stand, in my opinion. They could have gave you something that would have held it up in place. It is meant to be used with all of these in that shorten mode, like I told you. So let's pull these all off, and I'll show you what that looks like. Might as well do it now. So it's like this one here, and if it's all balanced, it'll sit on that stand just right. Now, these ones, you might think, oh, you'll get lost. They actually plug into down here. If you arrange them perfectly, they all get in together. Maybe I didn't pay attention to the instructions, but you can hold on a second. Here we go. And while we have him up there, you can see that there's a little write-up about him. That's a Pokedex entry. Steel Psychic, because of the magnetic powers of the Pokemon, get stronger in freezing temperatures. Metagross living on snowy mountains are full of energy. So something superconductors, or something like that. And then, of course, just like you see in the instructions there, you have those down inside the stand, and he can rest on it. Nice and easy, just like that. Try to do a rapid paced size comparison here. So here he is compared to a high-grade Gundam. Beside a 30-minute missions Alto. Those are both in 144 scale. Here he is next to my 1/100 scale Jinrai from FrameArms. Now I can put the Pokedex entry up, but I think he's supposed to be around 5 feet tall. Maybe it's also because he hovers using his magnetic powers. But he's not quite as tall next to the 112, roughly 112 scale FrameArms girl, Architect. But here, beside the little Hexagear Governor, I could see 5 feet. I mean, that's probably closer to 6 because that guy would be pretty big. But Hexagear Governor Nero is in 124 scale, so that might be closer to what he is. Last but not least, we have our massive 1/100 scale Alex Gundam, and he kind of dwarfs the little guy here. All right, and as before, most of these things don't actually come with much extra. This one did come with a little stand, which is pretty nice considering some of them don't. Gyarados did, Rayquaza did, but this one, having that little stand is it's a nice feature. Some of them don't really even need them, so I get why they wouldn't include it. But either way, this is a nice inclusion. It would have been nice to have more, but why? You know, it's just a small, fast kit to build. It's cheap, it's easy, it's for beginners. Not going to complain about it. I really love these kits. They are a lot of fun. I love Pokemon. I love that they are articulated. Not all of them are. So when they are, it's always a boon to me. I'm never gonna sully the name of a Pokemon kit if it has articulation. And then there's the price. I probably paid too much for it. I bought it at Robot for less, and I think they had it for $15. I think you can get them for as low as $11, but I've seen them as high as $20. So it's one of those things, you know, you're going to have to look for the best deal. You might not find better than what I got, but you might find way better too. So who knows? But it's definitely worth the $15 I paid for him. I love the Pokemon in particular. He was from the same era as Whiscash, which is my favorite Pokemon. And this guy, he's one of the ones that made it onto my team when I battled the Elite Four along with Whiscash, going through that monstrosity of a game back when Ruby and Sapphire came out. So he carried me a long way with that incredible defense. Psychic ability really helps too. So Metagross is one that I have a lot of fond memories of. With that said, as a kit, it's pretty decent. It looks really good. There's some seam lines that you can see. Not too many. There's some ugliness on where those things went together here. The stickers went on nice and smoothly. I'm not going to complain about that. It's like for a beginner's kit, I think it's really good. I think, could they have done better? Yes. But honestly, it's a really good kit, and it'll stand up to some rough and tumble play if you wanted it to. And obviously there is that weakness. You know, they are going to pluck off because they are designed to move from one hole to the other. But overall, I think it's a pretty sturdy kit. And if you just leave it on your shelf, it's going to be there for as long as you need it to be. And if you are worried about it weighing down those joints, just have him sit on that little guy and he'll be fine. But that's going to be it for my review for the Metagross. This is one of many of these Pokemon kits that have been coming out lately, and I am really glad they are. Hopefully they continue this line, and we will see more fun stuff in the future. But for now, I think that's going to be it. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely, you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.